Joining us now is Kevin Lent. He is with Salons of Michigan Coalition, and he is a franchise of Sola Salon Studios. And Kevin, there we go.
Hey.
We got you. How you doing? Welcome to the MegaCast.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you having me on.
Kevin, I don't think you got a chance. We did everything we could to give you the ability to hear that report. I
heard it.
You heard it.
I got it.
All right, so well, perfect. So what do you think about what do you think Erica put together?
The technology curve on your own.
Your thoughts after hearing Erica's report?
Dismay. I mean, I'll still say dismay at how the industry is being treated. The governor was on Mojo in the Morning out of Detroit this morning, and one of my compatriots in this effort, the Safe Salons of Michigan Coalition that we formed, had an opportunity to call in and ask her about not only the comments, but about why Michigan is such a significant outlier. Good news is she did apologize to the industry this morning publicly on that show. I hope she does that today at her presser when that happens, because that, excuse me, as we heard, offended a lot of people. But what still doesn't connect for us in the industry is we're relying on the science. It's about the science. It's not safe for salons. Well, it is safe for salons, and it can be safe for salons, and it is safe for salons in 48 other states now, with New Jersey being the only state that's not opened, at least partially. Every state but 6 are open fully. There are 6 states that are open partially. Governors have given, the counties discretion, or they're open but with limited services, et cetera. We are the only state that is either that is closed, doesn't have an open date, and that's it. It's a fact. And she said this morning on Mojo that our contention is not true. Well, it is true. So, that's where the dismay is. If it's about the science, show us the science. Be transparent about the science. That's where the frustration is, and it started to creep in. Is this a vendetta? Is this a retribution against Carl the Barber in Owasso, or the folks that were cutting hair on the state Capitol lawn a few weeks back? That's not this group. I mean, we're trying to do the right thing.
Kevin Lent is with us. He is the franchise owner of or spokesperson of Sola Salon Studios, and the spokesperson for Safe Salons of Michigan Coalition. Do you really think, honestly, that the governor, and this is not a partisan show, I'm probably getting deeper in the weeds than we have through this whole thing on this issue, because I feel for you guys, but do you really honestly think that the governor is paying back your industry for that barber in Owasso?
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that. But the thought creeps into the head of almost everyone in the industry that is doing the right thing and staying closed, and there just doesn't seem to be. You heard from one of the folks you interviewed. I sat in on that work group. The work groups were organized at the request of the administration to provide safe return to work protocols and guidelines for respective industries, and collectively that group represented salon owners and cosmetologists and barbers from around the state, worked tirelessly over 4 days in conjunction with LARA, which is the state agency that oversees and licenses not only cosmetologists and barbers, but the establishments in which they work, and LARA submitted the plan on May 21st. Crickets. I mean, one of the most kind of if your spouse or your partner or whatever, you guys get in an argument, one gives the other the silent treatment. That's probably the most infuriating response you can get from, in any kind of situation. And we've gotten the silent treatment from Lansing since May 21st.
So Kevin Lent from Safe Salons of Michigan Coalition, what do you want? I mean, you said that you've not received any opening date, And it kind of implied a couple of minutes ago, maybe on the Mojo show this morning, the governor said, well, we have given you guys a date. Can you...
No, she didn't say that. She apologized to the industry for her comment about being able to Google a haircut.
Right.
That should carry people over. But she said that our contention wasn't wrong, that there were other states that had that were not, the contention that 49 states were open and Michigan was the only one not open. She said was not factual.
Okay.
So anyway, we want to be open, and we want to be open with the protocols, that we put forth, through Laura, adopted or modified as the case may be. If there are experts in Lansing that feel that there are additional safeguards, necessary to our return to work protocols, we'd welcome that. We modeled those back to work protocols on other states that have returned to work and reopened salons and barbershops and spas and the like, and there haven't been explosive increases in cases in those states, and this and the existing protocols, Dave, the existing sanitation, infection control, hygiene protocols that are required for cosmetologists and barbers to be licensed to begin with are some of the most stringent in the country, already in place in Michigan. So, these are protocols that this industry, which is professionally licensed, has followed for years.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on the governor. I think, after that radio show, I'm not going to say that our show's having any impact on the governor, but all the communication going on around the state of Michigan on your issue. You're literally, other than the gyms and the movie theaters and just a couple other categories, you're the last. Right, you're the very last industry, and I just, I don't think she wants to aggravate all the people of the state of Michigan. I'm sure these are tough decisions, and we're trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here. Have you also tried to do the same through this process?
Well, absolutely. Her job is extremely challenging in the environment that we're in, especially not only the COVID-19, but the the tense environment that we've been in the last week to 10 days around the George Floyd situation, and it's a very tumultuous time in the country. It's a very difficult time to be in governing leadership, and we respect that. We also, expect that, if and as safe protocols are developed and put forth, allowing an industry that has, $1.5 billion impact to the state of Michigan's economy, would be allowed to reopen. And again, we issued a press release a couple of days ago, Dave, about our position in reopening salons. And upon review of the press release before it went out, I asked that the word arbitrary be removed, because it was in reference to the governor's decision seeming to be arbitrary at times. And I didn't like that word because it's subjective and non-factual, I guess. And when I sat in front of the joint committee on COVID-19 response in Lansing, testifying 2 days ago, and almost every other industry that went up and testified in front of the joint committee used the word arbitrary in terms of their interpretation of some of the decisions. So I don't think they're arbitrary, but so I don't know why salons aren't open. And again, I don't know why it's okay for a dentist to clean your teeth or to put on veneers, which are purely elective and cosmetic procedures, and the patient can't have a mask on and they're in with bodily fluids, but it's not okay to cut hair. I'm not sure why it's okay to get a facial at a dermatologist, but not be able to get a facial at a salon. I mean, these things just don't connect for me. Or get a medical massage, but not get a massage. Inherently, they involve the same processes.
Well, to play the devil's advocate for a minute, and I understand, and believe me, I've said the exact same thing many times in the show. I think there might be some who would say, well, those are all activities conducted by physicians, and, I'm going to characterize the opinion. This is not my comment here. I'm going to characterize what people are saying, Kevin, so be careful with what I'm going to say. Oh, those are just hairdressers. What do they know about, taking care of COVID-19? Do you kind of feel that's the opinion out there right now?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the opinion is overwhelming support of them. And I think the questioning is, do they have, the protocols and procedures in place to protect against the spread of the virus to the best of their ability? I mean, all of us are in a mitigation protocol, right? This is all about mitigation. This is not about prevention, because I don't think anyone understands how to prevent it. It's about mitigating the spread and ensuring that every protocol and procedure, regardless of the industry, is about mitigation. And so, nobody knows the 130 hours of sanitation, infection control, and hygiene curriculum that a licensed cosmetologist or barber has to go through in order to get their license. I mean, I'm certain they don't understand that. I'm certainly they don't understand, that in many salons, if in all of my locations, all of my the professionals that rent studios for me are going to be required to come back with a certification from Barbicide, the industry standard bearer in sanitation in salons and barbershops for almost 100 years. Barbicide. They have an online certification course all around COVID-19. Every single professional that we bring back, into their studios is going to be required to have completed that and display that in their studio. And the protocols we put forth in the guidelines to the state of Michigan build upon those 130 hours of cosmetology, sanitation, infection control, and hygiene training, and add additional safeguards and precautions to help, again, mitigate the spread of the virus. So, as with any industry, I'd put our professionals in cosmetology significantly further ahead than construction, which is back at work.
Kevin, you are an extremely capable advocate on behalf of the Salons of Michigan. I appreciate you being here. I wanted to give you this platform. Oakland County now, at least those that are megacasters, they're aware of your position, and we just want to see what's right. So I'm glad you took time. I'm going to send you a copy of Erica's report so you've got it. Feel free to use it in any way. We'll get it to you. It's going to be on YouTube and our website. But I think it characterizes the opinions of your members. And, maybe you're going to get helped out a little bit here politically because the governor's got to know she shouldn't have said what she said. So,
we appreciate the apology, and more than anything, I need to figure out how to do that whole margarita growlers thing.
That and the other thing you want to make sure is when the restaurants open up on Monday, go anywhere in Oakland County and say, Dave Scott on the radio said I could come in here and I can order a quarantini. That is the updated version of a martini.
Us poor salon owners, we're so depressed about not being open. We got to be careful about how many quarantinis and margarita growlers we consume until we get open.
Kevin, I look forward to having a quarantini with you as soon as we get through all this. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Dave.
All righty. He is Kevin Lent and did a great job from the Safe Salons of Michigan.